All right, team, what's going on? I'm Tim Jenkins. Welcome to All Things QB, where I watch every single clip and break down the most important ones. Today, we've got Caleb Williams, week 4 against the Raiders. A little up and down day that we're going to get to the bottom of. Also, I've got a special clip at the very end. Mac Jenkins and his third grade 8-year-old Warriors team won on the final play, a little Hail Mary, so to speak. So stick around for that. I broke that play down. But we've got a great one for you, and you guys know the deal. So without further ado, let's jump into the film. All right, team. First one we're jumping into. Got a little levels concept down here to the bottom. And what's really great is that we're going to be able to talk through this. And then we're going to talk through it again, and we're going to talk through it being operated much better. So what we've got here is this to the strong side for us, because we got our tight end. We've got our 12-yard basic with an under, just a 5-yard under, 12-yard basic, just a super common way of running levels, right? Why is it called levels? Because you got different levels. It looks like we've got a little bin mag here with a little sit route underneath. To me, this would be more of like a pick a side type concept, meaning he's going to pick the side, really kind of read it top down either way he goes, right? 1 to 2. To me, it looks like his eyes go to the left, which means, I could say, okay, hey, he got off of this because maybe he felt like this guy was driving, or that, hey, this guy was sinking. We've got to get to this under route. Now, I marked this originally as a no grade. After watching all the way through the tape, this is a missed progression. And then we will get to how I know that later in the tape, because I guarantee this got coached up on the sideline. And then we executed it later. So, very exciting stuff to see the in-game growth. With that being said, right here is a no grade, and we just got to get our eyes better. We got to get through our progression. And then we just had quite a few batted balls. This one I absolutely love. They're bringing what turns out to be cover 0, meaning nobody deep, right? They've got one more than we can protect. Caleb does a great job retreating in the pocket and finding this. I love it. I absolutely love it. They've got here a little corner route. He's going to work in here. He ends up just taking the middle. Caleb does a great job retreating to buy time, and then ripping that thing in there. A great, accurate football. The tight is so good, baby. Line does a great job here, actually, sorting this all out. Look at Caleb. Gosh, that's a great football, man. Against 0 pressure, down in the red zone. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. This one's tough. This one's tough. We got the interception. You can see what they're trying to run here. So first and foremost, he gives a little hand signal out here. Whatever was the hand signal out here gets missed, because, look at DJ and Swift. This just does not look like a well-executed concept. If I'm guessing, what we were thinking was we're going to run in here, get a pick, and then, he was thinking maybe it's man coverage. He wants to pick play here. What we end up trying to throw is we've got the corner route here. We've got what we're trying to sell as little under and then take the middle. You can see this backside safety does a really good job poaching it. I'm going to be honest, from the standpoint of, of course, we don't really know, but not sure this was going to kind of have a positive outcome either way, based on how good number 11 on this backside plays it. Maybe there's a world he fits it in, right? But that's just a great play by Max Crosby. Our O-line has to do a better job of punching these dudes when they jump. If they jump, we've got to punish them for jumping. We have to make them pay the price for jumping up in the air. Otherwise, you just end up getting a bunch of guys trying to get their hands up consistently. This, we've got just an easy money sit route. I love it. Use the motion with the spray release. So it's going to be motion to this release vertical on like a little corner. That was a terrible drawing of it. It's more sharp like that. And then we just got to sit underneath. You get these guys, look at this sink, what we call just sink coverage. You get both these guys backing up. Take it right now. I like the design. I like the quick decision. Hit your back foot, ball out. Obviously, I love the velo to where it's like, just gets the ball in the receiver's hand quickly so the receiver can get upfield and make a play. Sorry, I don't want to get it from the tight. Let's look at our eye placement. Look at our urgency. It's great. It's a really clean football play. I got it's a no grade, but I just wanted to highlight it. They ended up, I'm not sure if you watched the Netflix show, The Quarterback, where Ben Johnson was in Detroit, right, with Goff, but they did that fake trip play. They ended up trying the fake trip play right here. You can see Caleb with the fake trip. Oh. And then just, there's nothing. You could say, hey, we got to give a better ball to Rome here. But, I mean, if I was in the building, that's what I'd be telling Caleb. With that being said, like, he's running full speed. These are tough throws to make. Simultaneously, you do draft him round 1, pick 1 to make said throws. But I just wanted to highlight the little, make it look like a fall. Oh, we fell. Nope, never mind. We just get we literally get the one pressure in which you can't block it on play action. This is that's too hard to protect in play action. Here we got a little Komet cop route. Just love another one of those. I love the concept. Love the concept. Camera went out, so I will be right back. All right, sorry, I'm back. I just love the design of this one. You're drawing up a shot play. What I love it is because what you typically see in the shot play. So we have the play action with our control flat here. We have the ultra high, meaning it's think of it as a way higher aimed corner than a typical corner. Typical corner is 12 to 24. This one's more front pylon. So what you pair with that normally is like a speed out or a sail. Instead, they pair with it what looks to be the speed out sail stop. So that's what gets Komet so open. It's the play design. Look at this corner. This corner thinks, oh, hey, he's going to roll right into me and I'm going to be able to cut this thing off. And instead, boom. And then look at these backers. You can see they're used to widening super hard against it. Then he's just sitting wide open. Like, that is just beautiful, beautiful play design. It's exactly what you want to see as a Bears fan. Look at that hard action, hitch, ball. That thing's awesome. That is really big time. Okay, I've got the no grade here on the Komet drop. One skip, beautiful football. Biscuits, we got to make a play on that one. Again, I love the motion design. You can tell that they were taking advantage of the Raiders. They were motioning. They felt the Raiders widen against motion, where you see this corner, he starts really creeping outside. They knew they would be able to sneak somebody up the seam. I mean, realistically, it's literally go with a post, right? Like, it's not a super complex scheme. Get it wide open. Really love Caleb's feet here. Really, really love this. One skip, ball. Like right on time. One skip shot. It's a great football. One skip ball right off his back foot. It's really good. Cole's got to make that one. Cole's got to make that one. This one, we've got a little read zone. And I'm just not terribly sure what we're doing. Is it like, hey, do we have read zone with a little flat route here? Do we actually want Caleb to run this? And at the end of the day, this read zone, we're reading Max Crosby at this point, who's not going to be the easiest guy in the world to read. But, if you ask me, this is 100% a give. Caleb's got to give this football because I think Max is attacking the mesh point. But this is why read zone and everything that you see in college is so hard to run in the NFL, because look at him slightly pinch and then redirect and wreak havoc. That's just honestly unrealistic, in my opinion, to run at the NFL level. Okay, on this one, we've got a little bit of perspective on the sack. So this one, you've got a 3rd and long where you're thinking to yourself, okay, hey, we're getting pressured. Could we maybe get to one of these checkdowns? Instead, we end up taking a sack. But what I want you to see is the tight, because it's really easy to say, hey, okay, get to these checkdowns. Look how open these checkdowns are. Look at this pressure we're getting inside. Look at this, we're turning guys free. I have no idea that decision. 69 does a great job actually kind of holding this guy. But that's this is the piece of it where you sit there and you go, yeah, hey, get to your check down. We've got a decent play. We can get some yardage. Instead, we take a sack, and it's so easy to say, hey, don't take a sack. Hey, don't take a sack in this situation. It's a whole different thing to have a bunch of edge pressure, interior pressure, a guy turning free right in your face. It's not realistic into saying, oh, hey, don't take a sack. This I put on here with the note of, I have no idea what scheme this is. I don't know who's supposed to get this wide 9. We've got end, tackle, tackle, end. And we are going to double team down on this tackle, and we're just going to turn him free on a draw play. Why not us? That makes no sense. So that was just one of those where I wanted to say, I'm not sure the scheme here, but I also wanted to illustrate a point of, these are just things we can't have if we're going to run an efficient offense. Now, I don't know if Komet's supposed to be down on him right here. Komet, I don't think, knows either. That's brutal. That is brutal. Here we got a little speed cut. Love this. Love this. 3rd and short. 3rd and short, bunch set. You've got this little dive sit route, bang. You got this corner route, pair with the speed out. Corner route gets everybody to carry vertically. The inside release sit ever so pinches this guy to where now we can beat him with the football. That's just great. Love the scheme, love the execution. Let's go ahead and take a peek at the tight. Look at Caleb's footwork. Punch 1, ball. It is funny how good this offense looks when he's hitting his back foot and letting it rip, right? All of a sudden, this offense comes alive. Everything looks great. We need him to play on time, in rhythm more often. This I've got a no grade. We're just going to watch it once. I just wanted to watch it. The fake flea flicker. Huge fan. Look at this. How funny is that? Look at these linebackers bail out of there. but we get a face mask. See it here. See it from the tight. Hit flea flicker last week. Let's fake it this week. We had the fake flea flicker and the fake fall in the same game. It's pretty exciting stuff if you think about it. Both plays did not result in a positive play, but we can like the aggression. This, we've just got a deep sit from DJ. We just got XZ read, basically. The one thing that I will complain about with this offense is I don't think we get DJ Moore the ball enough. I think he's one of those guys that we should be targeting a ton, and we just don't get him the ball enough. Now, listen, am I just saying that because I consistently bet DJ Moore over under receptions? Yeah, I mean, maybe. But I also just think he's a heck of a ball player. So there's that one. Yeah. Another great play design, though. Another great job with the deep sit routes, or what we would call like more of a read route. They're not really reading these because they have not so many guys, but they have other layers behind it. We would have called it more of a read route and had them read it where it's like, hey, deep or sit down. Instead, I'm assuming they're calling these in as just locked sits, and shoot, man, it's working great. Now I've got the Rome TD. This is one of the better throws you're going to see in the NFL this week. The tight is, you're just going to fall in love with the tight of it too. Look at Rome with this route, just slightly stretching outside and then just right on the post. Look him just lean this thing, bang, right on him. You guys, the tight though is what? The tight is special on this one, ladies and gentlemen. The tight is exactly what you expect to see from 4-5 hitch ball. Look at that. That is an absolute laser. It's just like a hot knife through butter. Boom. And what are we seeing again, though, with his feet? You know, you talk about these big plays, these great throws, and then what do you see in his feet? You see confidence, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hitch ball, knowing exactly the drop, exactly how to time it up. You can uncover a lot from watching a quarterback's drop. How certain is he with his hitch? How much intent are in those feet? And that's just flat out dang near perfect. This one I'm just going to let roll. Obviously, one of those where Caleb Williams is a playmaker, right? And part of what we love about him is this ability to get out of the pocket and create a play. This is close, though, to being a game-changing play in the other direction. It's hard because it's one of those where you're, watching, you're like, no. But if it's completed, you're like, yeah, This one, you're like, no. Oh, goodness, thank you. Like, oh, praise Jesus, right? Like, thank you, Lord, for not letting this thing get just. It's hard. It's really hard because you're walking the fine line between trying to coach the guy up. Hey, here's how we want you to play within our system. Here's how we want you to execute. But then you have all this natural ability, which is why we drafted him, right? And that's where I think that conversation becomes hard as a coach, is because you sit there and you go, I don't want to take away the natural playmaking ability simultaneously. We can't have those kind of, you can't have those kind of decisions. This I wholeheartedly believe is a because of this D-line movement right here. I don't know what he says, but you see that little D-line movement, and it's like Caleb's not ready for the football. It doesn't look like anyone else is ready to move. He gets that little D-line shift, move, and look at that thing. Ball goes. That's just... And I'm an offensive guy. You guys know that. So I've always thought these last-minute line stems or stunts or whatever, I always thought they were Bush League. But people would probably say that about us, running pick plays or rub plays or whatever the heck you want to call it. So it is what it is. There's always a nice little argument between offenses and defenses, but I think it's Bush League. With that being said, I don't understand how it worked. I think they're on the silent cadence. So I don't know what he's doing or if just the movement spooked him and he just fired the ball back there. I got no dang idea. What I could tell you, though, is I thought it was interesting. I thought you guys would appreciate looking at the line stunt right there. This I've got as a no grade, and here's why. I want you guys to watch Komet on the deep over, and I know this got highlighted. There's just a piece of me that feels like this backer adjusts to the running back as Caleb's throwing, and that if Caleb would have kept his eyes downfield to try to hit Komet as this deep overrunner, that he would have kept gaining depth. So that's why I've got it as a no grade. Now listen, if he's actually setting his feet here, drive that thing into 85, right? I've got it as a no grade. I wanted to highlight it because I know it got highlighted on the broadcast, and then I'm sure it's making its way around Twitter or whatever. So, really wanted to make sure I talked through that one. This one I've got as a good. We're just going to watch it once. I love this. Just a big-time scramble. 2nd and 7. Move the chains. Smart time to do it late in the game. Really smart time to do it. That's when you use your legs as a franchise quarterback late in the game. Go get us a first down. Keep the drive going. And then the next clip I'm telling you guys right now is my favorite clip of the entire breakdown. It's the same levels concept from earlier. And the reason I love it is because look at him. Gets off the basic, gets to the under. So on a 2nd and 10, on the most critical drive in the game, they reload the concept they ran earlier, and he corrects his read. He plays on time, and they generate a 14-yard gain. That is playing quarterback. That is correcting an issue. That's development. That's playing for a good coach. These are all things that I'm telling you, as a Bears fan, it's almost better for you to see this than to actually end up winning this game, but they end up doing both. But the fact that we ran this thing earlier, in my opinion, he misread it, and then he goes right back to the well when it matters, and he reads it correctly. I don't know how that can't excite you. This, I just want you guys to see. Boom, they're going to take the lead. How about it? Now we've got a 2-point play, and I got no idea what we're trying to get done here. Looks to me like potentially they're trying to run mesh with like a little return or something. They're hoping these guys will bite, but it's just Rome gets caught up. Komet gets caught up. Rome ends up going to the back. Caleb just throws it up. I have no freaking idea what's going on. It's an egregious 2-point play. Best option right here is on the Oki return. That's best option. We don't even look at it. We throw it back. Just burn that tape. Burn the tape, burn the play, get rid of it. What I will say, though, is how nice is this? You always love seeing this. And then as promised at the beginning of this video, for those of you that do like following me, and I've talked about coaching my 3rd grade team. We won on, in 3rd grade football, they've got 72. You play 18 plays a quarter, right? So 18, 18, 18, 18. This team that we played was awesome. Okay, they're the Cherry Creek Bruins, the third grade Cherry Creek Bruins team. They are awesome. They've got a guy who runs it, Coach Morlock, who is an incredible dude. And yeah, they just got a bunch of studs. So we were up 16 to 8. They came back and scored. So I'm thinking, hey, we're going to overtime. We got 2 plays left, right? Until we get to the 18 in the fourth quarter. We ran like a little screen, and then we tried to run a little fake screen. We tried to run a little fake hitch, him pretend, and then go deep. And Mac Jenkins throws this thing about as far as he can. And Jude Brown makes an incredible catch. And we won in a walk-off. We'll probably end up playing this team again in the playoffs because they are a great ball club, as long as we make the playoffs. But it was pretty exciting. You can see this is one of my buddies who works at Jenkins Elite, Maverick Reed. He was there. He's fired up, giving the old touchdown. The moms are fired up. Jeff Scott's fired up. The dads are fired up. You can see from the tight, one of the guys I coach with, J.J. Simmons, former left tackle at Illinois. He's our defensive guy, so he felt bad because the defense gave up that touchdown and 2-point conversion. So you can see how happy he is right here because he feels like Mac bailed him out. When really, I don't think we played that well on offense. So if anything, Coach bailed me out, but it was a blast. And we played the team we played, the number 1 kid that we hit it on, he had just picked Mac off. They got a bunch of great football players out there. And it was fun though. It was really cool to see the kids. Both teams competed hard. So yeah, there it is. Little Mac Jenkins film. I'll give you guys a wide one more time. Little Mac Jenkins film that was, let's see it throw one more time. I know you guys have been asking, you've been saying, hey, break down one of his games. I'll do a full breakdown at some point, but that's about as far as I think you might see an 8-year-old throw. I don't want to brag on my son too much, but I think that's about as far as you're going to see an 8-year-old throw. But back to Caleb Williams. All in all, I think the most important thing to take away from that game is that the Bears finally feel like they have a locker room or a staff who is competitive enough to have multiple red zone opportunities early, get denied. Heck, even turn it right back over and then end up pulling it out. Like, that's the first time I've seen it happen since I've started covering them where it felt like this team had competitive grit. That's the best part. Caleb's growth in just the levels concept in one game, which I know isn't really a big deal, but to me it is because you got to the sideline, you got coached up on it, you took the coaching, you executed it in a pressure situation. That is a big deal to the long-term development of him, not only as a quarterback, but in this system. So I'm fired up, I think. I actually think I'm more excited than if we would have been on here talking about a 28-7 victory because the defense turned the ball over a bunch and we were able to just take advantage of it. Like, it's almost better to see this early. I'm fired up. You guys comment. Let me know what you think. Until next time. Peace.